It's the barb for me, baby. I'm Bobbying right now, Bob. I don't look good right now, Bob. But nah, let's be serious. Hey, YouTube. I hope everyone's well. I hope everyone's doing good in this fucking lockdown. Boris, you need to lift up now, okay? Yeah, I take the piss. Um, yeah, today I'm back with another topic. We're gonna be talking on a serious topic. We're gonna be talking on mental health. There will be trigger warnings. So yeah, if you want to stay tuned and you want to watch what's coming next, keep the video going for me.
Gotta be home by 10, cause I just clicked some shit from 8-0. Traffic on the M and I'm speeding fast, I just pray that I make it home. Tryna make a million off music, so don't ask why I spend bills on beats. Standing in the street, still walk with feet, I got black beats slapping their cheeks. Light skin ting from acting, love the drama, she should get into acting. Slim waist gal from Ballum.
So yeah, YouTube, what's good, what's good? So as I said, today we're going to be talking on mental health, and what I'm going to be talking on is suicide. As I said, there will be trigger warnings, there will be trigger points. So if you know that this topic will be too sensitive to you, this is not a video for you to watch. So yeah, the reason why I chose to talk on this topic today is because I feel like it's a topic that's not being spoken on enough. And when it is being spoken on, like, everyone's just talking about it, but no one's breaking it down and helping other people to understand what comes with suicide and stuff. So just to get into the topic, I'll give you like a little background of why I'm going to talk about it. As I said, I'm one of them people that I don't talk on things if I know nothing about it. I won't put my 2 pence in if it has nothing to do with me. This topic relates to me in ways because I've been someone that I was suicidal at one point in my life, and by God's grace I've overcome that. I've been suicide free for about a year now. Good couple of months. So tap on the back to me. I'm happy, I'm grateful. So yeah, to go into it, I would say that I've always from a child, I've suffered with depression. I've suffered with anxiety, but it became severe anxiety. So I have bad panic attacks to the point that, like, it's I would have to call the ambulance and stuff. And through my depression, um, over the months when I was suicide at the time, my suicide came about from dealing with, like, living by myself, working, friendships that were going down the drain, relationships, my partner passing away, losing a child. My suicide came from so many things. Um, to start off, it's like I had a day surgery, and I feel like it's mostly to do with the anesthetic that they put me on, because before I had no issue regarding suicide. I've never been suicidal. And when I came off the anesthetic, for a good couple of months, I went through a phase of feeling very suicidal. And I'm one of those people that I never thought that it would be me. Like, I've looked at other people now, I always used to think, why would you want to kill yourself? Like, you have a whole life to live. Like, who does that? Until I ended up with that illness. Um, and when I say to you, it was a nightmare. I felt like I was being tortured. Um, I couldn't eat. I couldn't sleep properly. They had to put me on medication, to for to get sleep and stuff. Um, I distanced myself from my friendships. I was very moody. Even to go to the bathroom, I couldn't get up and go to the toilet. Um, I used to have my friend would come and stay with me just to make sure I'm okay, because I basically became a threat to myself. Um, I isolated myself. I didn't go outside. I didn't even go to work. It started to hurt me financially because I had to come out of work for a period of time. I was very angry. Like, there was a lot that was going on. I couldn't even touch knives or anything because I would be so triggered. Like, I just didn't trust myself. And during the time of when I was suicidal, the way how my body felt, when I say to you guys, suicide is not something, well, in my opinion, suicide is not something that I don't know how to explain it, but it's something that it grows on you because of what you attract. And it's a vicious cycle, and it's such a hard cycle to break yourself out of mentally. And I was literally fighting demons. I was fighting myself. I would literally just wake up and just worry about the next day. I was literally coping to live. And I was at that point in my life, I was just literally living to live because there's nothing to take me out. My soul won't die. And it was just waves of just feeling like my body would jitter to just, you need to go now. And it would break me down because of the fact of one side of me, I don't want to die. Like, it even got to a point where I would start talking to myself. I would tell myself no. Like, I would literally just scream out no. Like, and I would just start breaking down crying because, like, why do I feel this way? Like, it's a feeling like that I don't want. And I would feel scared to sit down and explain myself to people to make them understand, like, it's not me. Like, it was just so hard to explain because I feel like people didn't understand me because I always came across as the big sister. I always came across as I'm strong. I didn't really show that I was suicidal. You never saw it on me because I'm someone that I'm always laughing, I'm always giggling. Even when I'm supposed to be mad at certain stuff, I was never angry. Like, until when I did get into situations where I become angry, I would go overboard with that anger. So some of my friends would clock that around, like, what's wrong? Like, because you're taking this situation far. So through that whole suicidal phase, like, I remember one day I was sleeping and I woke up and I just felt like killing myself. And I didn't know why I felt like that. And I called my friend Matthew. I love you, Matthew. Big up yourself 10 times. I called my friend Matthew and I just literally said to him, can you pray with me? Because I just feel suicidal and I don't know why. And we just sat on the phone and we prayed and I just started crying. I just broke down to him and I said, I don't know what's wrong with me. And a lot of people advised me that I should go to therapy, that I should do counseling. And it's like the more and more they tell me that, it makes me angry because it's like, I'm tired of sitting down and explaining what I've been through to why I feel the way I feel. Like, I want there to be more than explaining. I actually need help. And it's not by just putting me on medications and just letting me go and thinking that medications will solve the problem, because what people fail to understand sometimes is the medication that these doctors give to you is not solving the problem. It's only making the problem worse. And I didn't want to be a zombie and I didn't want to become addicted to those stuff. So I had to break the chains of sitting on antidepressants and stuff. And I said, no, fuck that. Where with my past, I've gone through a lot of childhood trauma. I've been sexually assaulted. I've been raped. I didn't have parents and stuff. I've been in and out of foster cares. I've been abused by family members. I've been through a lot. I've had miscarriages. Like, I've just been through a lot. And I'm only 24 years old. And one day, it just literally got to a point where I was sitting down, I was listening to gospel music. And I just started praying. I got on my knees and I started praying. I just started crying. Like, when I say crying, it's like someone died kind of crying. And I have this thing of talking to myself because I've built myself a certain way. No one can't tell me nothing. That's why I walk the way I walk now, because through that whole suicidal phase, I didn't really have support. I had friends that dropped out on me. I had friends that wanted to fight me and argue with me. I just never understood where my mind was. Like, literally, no one really called and checked up on me. I just went for a phase. Nobody even text me. Like, if I was supposed to die, God forbid, no one would even know that I was dead. So I just started dropping people out one by one. So going through that phase, one day I had a mental breakdown on social media, and a couple of people reached out to me, but one that stuck out to me was a guy called Sparks, DJ Sparks. Big him up every time. I love you, bro. One day I was just sitting there, and when I came off live, I was just emotional, and he shouted me. I did not know this man from Adam. I never knew Sparks from nowhere. And he messaged me and he was like, sis, what's your postcode? And because I'm so paranoid of people, I was scared to give it. And then someone was like, no, like, you need to allow people in your life to help you. Because I'm a very standoffish person. I like coping with things by myself. So I gave him my postcode and I was just sitting here in tears, and he came to the house. I didn't know him from nowhere. He came to the house, he had his little zoo or whatever, and he just sat on the end of my bed. And I was just literally sitting there crying. He didn't say nothing to me. I didn't say nothing to him. Um, and I stopped crying and he was like, sis, you're good. I'm like, yeah, I'm good. He's like, cool. Go to sleep, and when you wake up in the morning, call me. And since that day, I kind of like was allowing people to support me and help me. But I feel like the people that I was allowing in, because I have like a little limelight on social media, they were only around me because of the limelight and what I came with. There wasn't really really around to support me. So on top of being suicidal, I had to deal with pointless friendships. I had to deal with disrespect. I had to deal with people just walking into my life, especially men, because shit, man, I'm choking right now. Give me a minute. I had to walk into men coming in my life while I was at a vulnerable stage. And because of that, I had to deal with like being attacked on social media. Just bare stuff was going on. And that's a phase in my life that I regret, because while I was already weak, down and out, the people that came into my life and that was supposed to help me and support me was people that brought me down more. So I went through a phase of just being in that hospital. My health became very poor. It got to a point where I couldn't even come out my bed. I literally couldn't do fuck all. Um, I didn't have support from my family. I just literally sailed that boat by myself. And one day I just got up, and for some odd reason, I was just so happy. And I said to myself, wait, hold on a fucking minute. Me, good me. I want to end my life because of my past and because shit's not going the way that I want it to go. I said no. And when I say to you, that day I had to talk to myself. I didn't need to talk to no one. I just need to talk to God, and I need to talk to myself. And I kept talking to myself, and I was forcing myself to come out of bed. I was forcing myself to eat. It got to a point where my place was so messy. Like, even my friend had to come down and help me tidy up. Like, I couldn't even walk properly because my body just became so fragile and weak. I couldn't do nothing. And I got up. I had to put wigs on hold because I'm a hairdresser. I just couldn't do nothing. I was getting in trouble with customers. And it's like, I can't sit down and explain to my customers why I can't do their wigs right now. Like, I was going through a lot, and I just picked up myself and I said, no, why can't I live? Why can't I serve my purpose? Why can't I be normal? Like, I kept questioning myself on all the good things. Like, why can't I be like this person? And why can't I do this? And why can't I do that? And then I just said, I just need to do different. And I started to do different. And I coached myself in a certain way that now, when I talk about suicide, I just laugh, because if this was me 3 months ago, 4 months ago, I wouldn't think that I would be able to sit here and talk about suicide now. I didn't think I would sit here and be able to educate people what that comes with. I thought I was just going to be one of them people that I was just living to die. And it just got to a point where I didn't want to live like that anymore. And I don't know if you can hear my belly grumbling, but I just had a piece of boneless chicken strip from KFC. So I don't know what the fuck is going on there, but ignore the burp. I'm happy to say that I can sit here and talk to people about suicide. And what I want to come here and say to you guys is that no one's perfect. We're all human. And if you're going through suicide right now or you feel suicidal, just take your time out and listen to this message, please. I didn't think that I would be sitting here now. I didn't think that I would ever be able to be happy again. I didn't think that I would ever be able to live my life. I didn't think that a couple of months ago. And the strategies and the coping mechanisms that I've used to be here today, I'm grateful that I coached myself to use them because I'm in a better place in my life right now. One of the things that helped me to keep going is my past. Where I could have used my past to make me a bitter-hearted person, to make me nothing, I used my past to make me stronger. And I learned from my mistakes. One of the things that I've done was forgive the people that hurt me. I went through a phase in life where I had so much questions to ask. And then it's like the questions that I have to ask, I already had the answer to, but I wasn't satisfied with the answer. When you start to accept the answer, certain answers in life, you come to terms with a lot of things. And there was so much people that hurt me and put me in the state that I was in, and I had questions to ask, and I was so angry with them, and I wanted to scream, I wanted to fight, I was ready to I was ready to kill. And I just had to say, you know that hurt people. Because them same people that are hurting me is the same people that are hurt themselves, and they find comfort in hurting you. So I just got to a point where I started to pray on it. And in order for me to forgive you, it's not something you can do by yourself. I had to talk to God. I had to pray more. And I had to ask God to help me forgive the people individually that's hurt me. And the more and more I started to pray on it, I started to even pray for that person. I just started to ask God to help them. I've started to ask God to help them, like put them in a better place. I started to do stuff like that. So one of the steps that I used in order to help me with suicide is learning to forgive and learning to accept my past. I started to go down that route. I started to forgive. I started to understand. I started to heal. I started to just sit back and let God do his job. And that helps me because the people that I was so mad at how much years ago, I smile at them now. I don't feel pain in my heart for them anymore. I don't feel hatred, because that was something that was turning me into an ugly person, because I started to become very angry. I started to fight. I started to do all of that because I'm a gangster, baby. And I'm gonna throw these hands. But I stopped. So forgiveness, I started to like write out things on paper. Like I have a diary. So one thing I would say to anyone that feels suicidal, do get a diary. And I started to write out like things that hurt me. I started to write out why they hurt me, how they hurt me, who hurt me. I started to write out everything. And then I would burn it. I would pray on it and I would burn it and I would rip it up and I would throw it away. And I kept doing that. I kept using that as a strategy. That's one of the things. The second thing that I started to do was I started to walk alone. I've realized that because I am someone that lives alone, I always felt the need, I needed comfort. Little did I know, while I needed comfort, I was inviting in bad energy into my aura. And I'm someone that I'm very spiritual. If I don't fuck with your aura, you can't be around me. But because I was so vulnerable at the time, I started to invite around people that just wanted to be around. And it wasn't no good for me. So I felt like at a point I always needed someone to talk to, or I always needed someone to vent to. It got to a point where I started to vent to myself. I started to vent to God, and I just started to write. And I started to find comfort in my loneliness. I started to walk on my own. And when I say that, it's because I got too comfortable in venting to people and telling them my business and all this type of stuff just for it to be thrown back in my face. And that wasn't helping me when I was feeling the way how I was feeling. To the point that even when I was going through my whole suicidal situation, someone that I thought was my friend, um, I made a group chat with my close relatives and stuff, and I was gonna check myself in at one point. And within 2 minutes, she sent me a message off a fake account telling me to kill myself and stuff. And I thank God that I was beyond that and I was stronger than listening to that message. And even her, like, it's just a jealousy thing. But I can understand why you're jealous to John, Kemi. But God will deal with you. And so I will deal with you in court as well for the harassment that you and your girlfriend, like, you lot like to harass me on social media and talk to me on fake accounts. You're lucky that I don't bust your ass, but at least I've changed my ways. But anyways, so I just started to walk alone. I started to keep to myself because that's where I was finding my peace. I had to coach myself. In the beginning, I was struggling with it, but then I got to a point where I started to put my phone on D&D. I stopped answering people's calls. I just started to focus on me because that's what was a part of the problem. I wasn't focusing on me enough, and I was busy counseling everybody else and helping everybody else with what they're going through, but I wasn't helping myself. So one of the things that helped me was keeping to myself for that moment in time, finding myself, learning to heal. Because there was so much things I kept going through and I kept healing from so much things. It got to a point where you have to say, stop, stop, stop. Focus on yourself. And I had to tell myself that. So one of the things was also staying to myself for a minute and just getting myself together. The other thing that I used as a strategy when I was feeling suicidal was drawing. One of the things that is really good for my anxiety, which is also methods that I would say that you lot should try. Because I do live alone and I'm someone that I don't really go out and all them type of stuff anymore. I started to find peace in doing art. I started to find peace in reading chapter books. So one thing that I became proper in love with during this pandemic and when I was feeling suicidal was reading like the Twilight Saga. And one book that I do read, shout out to Felicia because she put me on. Now I'm putting other people on. I've been reading this chapter book called Secret Law of Attraction. I think that's what it's called. And I've been reading those books. I like to draw on colouring pages. It might sound childish, but it's so meditating in ways. Like, I'll just dim down my lights, put on some meditation music, put down some candles, take a nice hot bubble bath, put on a robe, and I'll just draw. Or I'll read some books, or I'll just write. Like, I was just putting my head in different boats. So that became something that was helping me when I was feeling down and like suicidal and stuff. Another thing that I would say helped me while I was feeling suicidal was crying. The reason why I said it is because I'm such a hard-bodied person. I was someone that I was never a crybaby. I never used to cry. I always used to hold back my emotions because I didn't want to seem like the burden to people. But then I had to realize that I'm a human and I carry different emotions. And when I need to cry, I need to cry. When I need to scream, I need to scream. When I'm hurt, I need to hurt. You need to allow your emotions to flow. I had to stop bottling in everything that I felt. And I got to a point where I started to let go. I just started to let go. And the more and more I started to do that, when I needed to cry, I didn't hold it back. Anywhere that I was, my tears would just fall. So even sometimes when I'm on social media and I'm talking, I'm not crying because I want attention or I want someone to feel bad for me, or it was never none of that. It's just that I'm human, and because I'm hurting about so many things, that I've been holding on to. When I've now gotten to a phase of where I became very vulnerable, I started to cry more and my emotions started to flow. And when I realized that every time I stopped crying, I just felt so relieved. I felt so relaxed. I felt okay. Um, so one thing I would say is I started to let my emotions out, my anger, anywhere that I felt, I let it out. I didn't give a fuck who I was hurting. Because at that moment in time, sorry to say, it's about me right now. It's about how I feel. You lot didn't give a fuck about how I feel. So I'm showing you how I feel. So it got to that point and I just started to let everything go and I just started to let loose and I started to be free, babe. I was free. So one thing I would say, one of my strategies that I used was letting out my emotions, and that helped me now, and that's still helping me now, and it's helping me in the long run. Um, Another thing that I would say that helped me when I was feeling suicidal is going to the gym and taking care of my health. One thing that I can say about suicide is that mentally, how do I put it? Mentally, I was very insecure about myself. Um, I didn't love myself to the point that it got to a point where I stopped doing my makeup. I stopped doing my hair. And anyone that knows me, I changed my wig, baby. I changed this wig, baby. Every 2 weeks or every fucking day. I stopped caring about me. So one of the strategies that I used, I'm even in process, I've put myself on a diet now. I've cut out eating past a certain time. I drink more water. I drink more herbal teas. I eat more vegetables. I eat more fruits. Like, I stay away from certain foods because that was also something that was playing on my anxiety. For example, Coke. If you suffer with anxiety, I wouldn't advise you to drink Coke. And the main reason is because even Coke and alcohol is something that I stayed away when I was going through that phase because it just did not help. It would make me feel a certain type of way I did not like feeling. And there's been a lot of people that have also said the same thing. Fizzy drinks, sweets, and all these type of stuff. When you're feeling down the way you're feeling down, I try to eat light because when I eat a whole heap of stuff, it does not help me in the long run. Like, even when I used to drink alcohol, because when I was suicidal and stuff, I kept drinking bare alcohol. I became an alcoholic basically, and I would feel good. I would feel numb to the pain, and the next day I would wake up and I would feel so depressed. Like, the way how I would feel, it wouldn't make no fucking sense the way I feel like that. So I cut out drinking, and I just kept drinking water for time. I started to eat lighter. I started to go jogging. I started to like go to the gym once in a blue moon. I just started to get up and active. That was something that also helped me when I was feeling down mentally. Another thing that I would say is your scenery. Now, when I was feeling suicidal, one thing that helped me through that was thinking on positive things. Now, the time that you spend thinking on negative things is the time that you can spend thinking on positive things, and you have to force yourself to do such thing. So for example, every time a negative thought came into mind, I would reverse it so quick, and to the point I would sit there and I would just start talking to myself. I'd be like, I want a big car, I want a house on the hills, I want to be a hairdresser. I kept doing it. And I just kept pushing myself and I kept motivating myself and be like, I'm going to be the baddest hairdresser. I'm going to be on YouTube. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. So even half of my videos that you lot see on my YouTube channel, just know that after that, I was crying. Because that's how mentally fucked I was. Like, even before I put up those videos, as I'm doing my makeup, I kept wiping it off because I kept being emotional. But I kept pushing myself. You have to keep pushing yourself. And I didn't really have no one to push me. I had some words of encouragement and stuff, but me, myself, I had to push myself and I'd say, Valentina, get the fuck up and do it. And like, when I say scenery, and this is why I'm so bound on going on holidays and stuff, because when you're stuck in the same position for so long and you're seeing the same four walls, it can play with you mentally. So I would advise you that if you're suffering and you're feeling down mentally, do pick up yourself, even if it's to book a hotel far out, or book a hotel and spa, or sometimes when I'm feeling depressed and stuff, I'll just get up and I'll get a cab and I'll go and sit by the London Eye. I like to see like pretty views. And that's something that helped me mentally, just seeing different things. So I would say to anyone that's feeling mentally down, when you're feeling down, do pick up yourself, go far out. Even if you have to go to Birmingham, even if you have to go and book a 2-day stay in Spain or something, different scenery will help you mentally. When you're stuck by the same four walls, seeing the same shit every day, it will not help you. It will only make you worse. So do try to be active and do try to go out and even if it's to go to the pub, even if it's to walk down the road, even if it's to go and sit in the park. Like, one thing that I like to do, because I've been like to Jamaica and stuff, like I look back on my memories mentally and I just imagine the sunset and the horizon, the palm trees, and I just imagine all those type of stuff. And I keep telling myself, this is what I need to work towards, going back to Jamaica. I need to work towards going back to America. I need to work towards going back to Spain. Need to work towards these things. And it makes me so happy just thinking of the places that I've been and knowing that there's so much other places to see. It makes me so excited. Even as I'm talking, as you see, I'm getting, because that's what helped me when I was feeling the way I was feeling. Just imagining the things, imagining places that I haven't even been to yet. That helped me a lot, because there's so much more out there in the world for me to see. I want to go to Dubai. I want to go to Egypt. I want to go to, there's so much places that I want to go to. My life doesn't stop here and right now. So when I kept deep in these type of stuff, it kept pushing me to want to do more. And I became so wanting to, I'm in a place in my life now where all I concentrate on is working, getting in my bag and not fumbling, because that's what's helped me with my depression and feeling suicide, knowing that there's so much more out there for me. And you need to understand as well, there's so much out there for you. There's someone sitting here watching this YouTube video now, and you want to be a hairdresser, you want to be a counselor, you want to be a rapper, you want to be a makeup artist, you want to be a lawyer, you want to be a police officer, you want to be all these type of stuff. Okay, work towards it. If that's the case, pick up a book, write out bare shit that you want to do. And the reason why I'm saying this stuff is because when I was feeling suicidal, I coached myself mentally on what I want to be in life. And I started to ignore the way how I felt. And I started to put towards the fact of, wow, I have a whole future ahead of me. There's so much shit that I want to do. And I kept pushing and I kept pushing and I kept like, you lot are going to see it soon, but trust me, I'm so happy with what I'm doing right now. And I'm so grateful I didn't give up. And every time when I was feeling down and out, I just kept deep in my future and what God has in his hands for me. And it made me so positive that when I would just sit there and feel down, I would just think about being a big celebrity hairstylist. And I'll get up and I'll clean down the yard. I'll wash out bare clothes. I'll throw away bare things. Like, it made me so excited because God wants more for me and he wants more for you. So one of the things that I would say is that, yeah, scenery, do get up and try and do different things. Do go and see different things. Go down to the London Eye. Go down to Westminster. Go down to the city. Go and book a hotel room. Go hotel and spa. Do something. But it will help. Last but not least, I would say what helped me is being raw. And when I say being raw, it got to a point where I stopped feeling bad for myself. Now I was feeling suicidal. It was all nice with the, you're gonna be better and I'm sorry that you're feeling this way, blah, blah, blah. I don't need to hear all of that. I don't. I need someone that's gonna toughen me up. And since I didn't have that around me, I had to toughen myself up and I had to talk to myself and I had to coach myself. Valentina, get the fuck up. Valentina, go and post those letters for your business. Valentina, do this. Valentina, do that. And I kept pushing myself to the point that I started crying. I kept saying that, but I need to do it and I'm going to do it. I kept telling myself, I kept talking it into existence. I don't want to die. I kept talking it into existence. I am healthy. I am beautiful. I kept pushing. You have to keep pushing. The more you sit down and you allow yourself to cry on somebody's shoulder, it's only going to make you weaker. And I ain't weak and I ain't a punk for nobody. And the more and more you push yourself is the more and more you're going to see your blessings just bloop, 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 bloop. My blessings just hitting me in my face. And it just got to a point where I was tired of crying on the phone to people. I was tired of hugging people. I was tired of the sorry this and I was tired of the long. Fuck all of that. Tell me to get up and stop crying and tell me you need to do this and you need to do that. Some people are going to say, oh, but Valentina, you can't say that. For me, that's what helped me. Because I want to be something in life and because I want to do better for myself and because I want to go out there and counsel young children and show them that there's more to life and show them that you have a reason to live. I want to be able to do that. But in order for me to do that, I got to help myself first. And that's what I did. And that's what I'm still doing to this day. Being suicidal and suffering with depression and anxiety, I never had no one. I never had therapy. I never had counseling. I never had all of that. I built myself a certain way that's why I talk the way I talk. Because I'm so bound on seeing people do better. I'm so bound on seeing people want better for themselves. So no one can't come to me crying over a sob story because the most I'm going to tell you is, bro, wipe your tears. Because let me tell you something. At the end of every tunnel, there's a light. There's no tunnel that you can't get out of it. Every tunnel you have to get out of. And every war you have to fight. And one thing about God, he won't give you a battle that you can't finish. He won't give you a war that, you can't bring no guns to and you can't play in. Every war that God's given me to fight, I fought. And I'm here now. And my past and what I've been through and my trauma and my suicide, all of that has made me the person that I am now. And I'm happy to say that I've changed in a way of I'm not soft-hearted like how I used to be. I'm someone that I have a lot of love to give and I'm in a place where I'm loving myself right now. So I'm very selfish and it's about time that I become selfish because I was so busy and focused on helping other people, not helping myself. And I'm happy that I'm at a place where I'm putting me first. I've put my foot down. So I've built myself into this hard-body character. And it's not because I'm trying to hide my past, because I'm trying to accept it and I'm moving on from it. As I said, healing takes time. So what I would advise to you is that, as I said, I'm not a soft-hearted person. I've grown into a very hard-bodied person because I love hard. And the best thing that I can say to anyone out there that's feeling suicidal, this is not the end. I promise you it's not. You may feel like it because of what's going on in your mind and how you're feeling, how your body's feeling. But baby, it's only just a phase. It's only just a phase that the devil wants you to be locked in. You can't. Suicide is the devil's jealousy. You can't play in that field because that's not what God has for you. So when you're feeling suicidal, just think on the good things and think of what God has in store for you. Think about your future. Think about what you're going to be. The devil wanted me to knock me down. And I just kept saying, no, I need to be a hairdresser. I got people I need to cater to. Okay? I got people I need to help. And I kept pushing myself and I kept doing it. And I fought so hard to be where I am right now. And I'm not saying that right now I'm mentally set free, because I'm not. I still suffer with my depression. I still suffer with my anxiety. But I'm still coaching myself and I'm still healing and I'm still working on me. And all you need is a bit of work. You're good. So before you sit there and you allow yourself to sink in such a deep hole or such a dark place, just remember, you have one life to live. And anybody that's out there and you're feeling suicidal, you're still here now. If you were supposed to go, you would have gone. But there's a reason why you're here. There's a reason why your soul's not giving up. But there's a reason to why you're still here crying. Because it's not you. Your suicide and how it's not your suicide. That feeling and that phase that you're feeling, it's gonna go if you allow it to go. So if you're out there and you're suffering with all these mental health issues, get up and tell yourself you have so much more to live for. There's something out there for you. Your goal, your bag of gold is sitting out there with your blessings. That door is waiting for you to push it. Your blessings is right there in front of your face. But right now, God's not going to give you something you can't handle. So right now, I'm working towards opening that door. And I'm so excited for when that door opens. I'm so excited for life itself. So if you feel like giving up, just remember, you have so much to live for. It's a joke. When I say you have so much to live for, baby. Don't end your life. When I tried to end mine, I hurt so much people to the point that because they didn't understand what I was going through, some of them don't even talk to me now. They never understood. I hurt so much people and I hurt myself. And I said, nah, that's not for me. Me laying 6 foot under. Right now, that's not for me. God wants more for me. And he did. That was me a couple of months ago, and the amount of things that's gone good in my life right now, I'm so grateful I never ended my life. I'm so grateful to the point that even talking to you, I feel happy, like I didn't do it. You're strong, you're beautiful, and anything you need to overcome, you will overcome. I promise you. Pinky promise. It's okay. What's meant for you will be for you. If it's not meant for you, it won't be for you. But suicide is not for you. It's not for nobody. Yeah, shit's not going right now, but we're going to make shit right regardless. And this is what we need to install in ourselves mentally. We need to start talking positivity from our mouth. Or sometimes when I feel ill and I feel sick, I don't even talk about it. I pray on it. I don't make it come from my tongue. Your tongue is so powerful. If you want to live, live. If you want to enjoy life, enjoy life. If you're hurting, talk on your hurt. Do something. But don't end your life. Don't do it. There's so much more to life, only you don't even understand. And someone that was suicidal, when I said to you a few months ago, I could not sit here and talk to you. But I can sit here and tell you I'm so happy I never made that decision. I'm happy I went through what I went through, because there's certain shit in life you have to go through to understand. And I understood the assignment, baby. And I battled, I fought, I cried, I screamed. It got to a point where I was going to check myself in. And I said, no. You can do this. And I did it. Going to the gym, I'm reading my books, I'm praying. Another thing that I would say, there's certain music that you listen to. So, as I said, certain things that you eat, certain things that you listen to, certain things that you watch. It got to a point where I stopped watching certain shit on TV. It got to a point where I stopped listening to certain music. I started to just listen to gospel and meditation music. That's what kept me going. Meditation music and gospel. Now just sit there. One of my favorite songs that I listen to is Yolanda Adams' "The Battle Is Not Yours." Marvin Sapp, "My Testimony." I kept listening to it. Keep doing it. I kept listening to things that are going to uplift me. I was listening to TD Jake's sermons. I was doing so much because my thing is, there's so much more to life. There's so much that God has in store for me and for you. If you're a young boy out there and you're suffering mentally, and you need someone to talk to, and you feel like you ain't got no one to talk to, turn off your phone, talk to God. No one's not going to understand your battle because they wasn't in the same war as you. That's how it gets sometimes. As a man, if you need to cry, cry. You're human. But if you feel down and you feel mentally spaced out, turn to God. If there's someone around you that you trust and you're hurting to the point you want to kill yourself, talk. Because that's the thing. You see, with us people that's ever felt suicide, we don't need someone to talk to us. We just need to talk to you, and we need you to listen. All it takes is sometimes for you to listen. Let me just get it all out. Literally. But as a friend, never ignore the signs. And some of the signs that I could say, if your friend is not picking up the phone, if your friend's making little jokes about killing themselves, if your friend is very moody, don't now jump on the bar of fuck you, you're this and you're that. Sometimes ask them, what's you okay mentally? Like, what's going on? That's how I am with my friends. And I always remind your friends that you love them. Remind your friends that I'm here. All it takes is little things like that. Just remind them, I'm here for you, you're my friend. A lot of these people that's committed suicide feel like they never had no one to care. They never had no one to care about them. A lot of these people that's committed suicide always felt left out. And that's one thing about me. When I was feeling suicide, I just felt left out. Like, my friends wasn't inviting me out. No one wouldn't come and visit me. And now I'm just in a place where it's like, oh, fuck you. I can go out by myself now. So, as a man, just understand, if you need a hug, I'm right here, baby. Come get your hug, baby. Don't ever feel afraid to let out your emotions just because you're a man. You're still human. Talk. If you need to talk, do that. Don't ever hold it in. If you need to vent, vent. No matter where it is, let it out. And that goes for females as well. If you're feeling down and you're feeling out, I'm on YouTube, I'm on Instagram, I'm on Snapchat, Big Tina K. If you ever need someone to talk to and you just need me to listen, feel free to hit me up. And I will listen. I won't give you no advice. I won't talk on your situation, and I won't have an opinion. I'm here to listen. And there's plenty of other people out here in this world that just want to hear you. If I have to hold you, you need to cry, I'm here. I got the pillows, baby. But just don't do it. You're so loved. So much people love you, and we care about you, and we need you here. If you leave us, we're going to hurt, and it's going to leave a mark that cannot heal. Don't do it. There's so much more to life. God has so much more in store for you. You're beautiful, you're cared for, you're honored, you're adored. But do not do it. You're gonna be good. There's so much more I could sit and go on about, but I have to keep this YouTube to a minimum. But yeah, as I said, if you lot feel like you need to reach out to me and you need any advice, because there's more advice I can give, but I'm a bit frustrated right now. If you need any advice or you need someone to talk to, you lot can feel free to hit me up. I have a lot of young girls that hit me up, and obviously I'm helping them right now, but I like giving advice and I like helping any way that I can. Also, do read scriptures, do read sermons on suicide and anxiety. It definitely helps, and it will make you feel a bit more powerful. Praying makes me feel powerful. So yeah, you lot hit me up, but just love one another, adore one another, pray for one another, care about one another, remind your other half that you love them. Never a dull moment. It's good vibes only. And that's why I'm in life right now. I'm suicidal free, and I'm happy. And I'm still trying to get to my peaceful place. It's gonna take time. Rome wasn't built in a day. It wasn't not done in a day neither. We got this. We all got this. So yeah, I hope that this YouTube video helped whoever it needed to help. As I said, you're loved. You're loved and you're cared for. Don't give up. It's just a vicious cycle. It's just the devil's jealousy. God can get rid of that. It's just a phase. It's temporary. It is not permanent. The way how you're feeling is temporary. You got this. And I wouldn't lie to you. Anything you feel like you can't get out of, you can get out of. You got this. I got this. We got this. But yeah, I hope you lot enjoy this YouTube channel. As I said, if there's any advice that you lot need, feel free to hit me up. I'm here. Whoever it is, stranger or not, feel free to call out. I'm good on giving advice, baby. If you got any relationship problems, baby, I'm right here. Hit me up, man. But I hope everyone's staying safe in this pandemic. You lot are loved. I loved you all. And I'll be back next week. Toodles.